Today we're summing 2 months of intensive testing riding the bike that I got for my wife 2 months ago, the Polygon Vander T7. So let's get into it. What up, senders, and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new to the channel, please consider to subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell notifications so you won't miss all the goodies and the action on the channel. So 2 months ago, I got the Polygon Vander T7 for my wife, first full suspension bike for her. I made a whole video about her searching and buying and unboxing the bike and the first impression. So I'm gonna leave a link on top or below so you can check that out. So before I let my wife ride the bike, I needed to test the bike, try it out on my trails, see how the bike feels. If I can send it just like my other bikes, that'll be passing the test before I let my wife ride it. So obviously I had tons of fun sending the Polygon Vander T7. So my wife is no stranger for running downhill, or running on trails, or running on gnarly rocks. But on the bike it's a different situation. So definitely with the T7 she's much more confident than before, that she used to ride a hardtail. And all that thanks to the geometry of the frame, which has a wide wheelbase, which helps on a steep descending and stability on high speeds. This is a large frame. I'm 6'2", and the bike feels like medium for me. But for my wife, it fits perfect, and she's 5'8". And most important, she's stoked to ride every week. So after 2 months of riding the Vander, the only thing that I replaced is the rear tire, the Magic Mary 2.35. And replaced the pedals with the Fooker. She really liked these pedals, they were on my other bike. And that's it. Other than that, we're still riding on stock. The rear suspension is 135mm, adjustable for faster and slower rebound. The brakes are SRAM level, which are okay brakes, but on a long rides and fast ascending, they tend to get too hot pretty quickly. Definitely gonna be replacing them in the future, but for now they're good enough. And I'm about to replace the fork with a Yeri 160mm. This one is 135. Now that she's spending more time on the bike and she's ready to get in higher speed and steeper descending, it'll be worth it to replace the fork. First time with the Vander. I don't know if I want to jump this yet. Bike is brand new. Don't want to go in the mud. Let's get back to the topping session. So my first impression ride was, first thing, I gotta replace the rear tire to the Magic Mary to get a better traction, especially for the conditions at that time. So the bike feels very snappy and very easy to control, but since I feel like this bike is medium for my size, kind of makes me feel like it's all faster and it's all gnarlier, which is more fun. It feels pretty easy to carry speed, even on flat corners. I was really surprised with the capability of jumping with this bike. It feels gnarly, but somehow I could get nice airtime, which means that the frame is really responsive to any movement on the bike. So the bike is fairly smooth on a rough terrain, especially that it's a little too rough for trail bike. So after the first session, I noticed that suspension screw got a little loose and the rear axle got a little loose. Not in a dangerous way, it was just slightly loose than what I prefer to have it. But it's totally acceptable since it's a brand new bike. This is the first time I tied it up. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Well, I took care of it and carried on. Alright, that's 7 to the bottom first time with the Polygon Vander T7. Send it. Ooh, yeah. Really like that frame. The geometry makes the bike really snappy and really playful. It's so easy to manual. Alright, let's give it a try with this jump. So I had a great time testing the bike, and I pretty much checked the boxes for almost all the jumps and all the trails. So the bike is ready for my wife to start progressing on the mountain biking skills. So I'm gonna upgrade the bike alongside with the progression of my wife's riding. We're gonna start with the fork, and then we're gonna move on to the wheels. And the cranks are the SRAM SX with the 175 cranks, which I prefer the 165, so you have better clearance and not having rock strikes on the pedals. So to sum it up, the Vander T7 is a pretty good starting point for someone to fall in love with mountain biking. With the stock components, it's good enough to progress the riding skills to aggressive style of riding. Thank you for watching. Hopefully that was a helpful review. How's the Polygon Vander T7 doing? If you're new to the channel, please consider to subscribe. If you love mountain biking and whatever related to that. Until then, stay safe, stay fast, and I'll see you on the next session.